Before you dive into this story, let me give you a few content warnings. The last thing I want is to catch you too off guard, dear. This tale may include death or reference to it, surreality, alcohol, smoking, unreality, and mild harm to children. But don't worry. While they may get some bumps and bruises, no children will die. Everyone who helped tell this story had a set of safety tools to use in case anything became triggering to them. But I want you to be safe as well. So if anything happens that is triggering to you, please do take care of yourself. Remember, you can always step away if you need to. Oh, well, now that we've gone through that, why don't we begin? Let's see what lies beyond the brook.
Welcome, viewers, to our 9th and penultimate episode of Beyond the Brook, a mini-series inspired by Over the Garden Wall and using the Babes in the Woods role-playing system to tell the story of 5 children lost in the mysterious wilderness known only as the Backwoods. I am Edward Spence, my pronouns are he, him, I am your narrator, and my rock fact is a very, very simple one today. There are a few things that I find more meditative than swimming in open water. I don't get to do it that often, but if I can see what's underwater, nothing will instill more fear in me and cause me to run kicking and streaming back to shore. So yeah, it's kind of like a real risk-reward thing for me. That is my rock fact. Nothing much to it. It's simple. I've got a lot of other things that I'm very worried about now. So let us go around and meet the rest of our wolf pack. How are we doing, wolf pack?
Ow!
Bark, 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 bark.
Ow, ow, ow.
Ow,
Ow.
And starting us off with terrifying feelings, Laurel. Hi, Laurel.
That's me.
That's you.
Hi, yes, my name is Laurel. My pronouns are she, they. I play Angie. Angie's pronouns are she, her. I make fangirl core content, and you can find me on Twitch as Laurel and Laurel Rothamel everywhere else. And my rock fact is that this is my frog from when I cosplayed as Greg from Over the Garden Wall for Halloween a few years ago. He's perfect hug size.
Yeah.
And that brings us neatly on to the wart to Angie's Greg. Maddie, hi.
Ha! Fudge nuts. Hi. I'm still thinking of my rock band. I'm Maddie Duvernay. I use she, they pronouns. I play Ixia, who also uses she, they pronouns. You can find me everywhere at Maddie Duvernay, sometimes with an extra Y. Your guess as to which platform. And then my rock fact, I had one. It was a really good one, I swear. It was really fun. This is my life-size Stitch.
There we go.
And I love hymns.
And we have the incredible Stella.
Hi, I'm Stella Luna on Twitch, Stella Luna TV on all other social media. Today I'm playing Penny. We both use she, they pronouns. My rock fact is that I was scared of the dark until I was 21 years old, at which point I was like, you know what? If there's something in the dark and it's already waiting there for me, I'm not going to be able to run away. So there's no point in being scared. And I kind of resigned myself to the fact that, like, if monsters are real and they are there, what am I going to be able to do about it? I can't take a punch to the face. So, And now when I'm in a dark room, I'm just like,
Me, I'm still afraid of the dark.
It's probably gonna get me anyway. It's fine.
Stella doesn't
Friend literally
fight or
told me
flight.
that I look like I'm
freeze.
afraid of the dark. And I took offense to that.
And we have the wonderful Lexi.
Oh my goodness. I hit my mic. Hello. My name is Lexi. I use he, she, they pronouns. And I'm playing Gust, who uses he, him pronouns. My rock fact has nothing to do with fear. I don't know where this came from, but when I was a child, I was obsessed with spies, and I saw a bunch of people moving out a neighbor's stuff out of a neighbor's house, and I sat the entire day and wrote down every single thing that I saw them take, and used binoculars and everything. And then I went over. I'm in the 3rd grade. I go over afterwards.
Currently.
Yes, currently. There's no saving me at this point. I go over to the ladies. I'm like very young. I go over to the lady's house who I saw like getting stuff robbed from, and I was like, all of this stuff was stolen. I wanted to call the police, but my mom told me I couldn't, so I figured I'd come tell you. And she was like, that was my son-in-law moving, and I'm moving out today. I don't have the energy to deal with this kid. So my rock fact is that I'm a very diligent spy, just not a smart one.
That's so real.
And finally, in what I'm sure will be a very run-of-the-mill, very mundane rock
Normal.
fact. Hi, C.
Hi, I'm C. I use they, them pronouns, and you can find me on the internet at C Plays RPG. Tonight, I have the absolute pleasure of playing Lou, who also uses they, them pronouns. And I put a poll in our group text for what rock fact I'm going to tell right now: aliens, trucks, or tattoo. The first one I see is Lexi saying truck. So my rock fact for today is that I once fell asleep on the pavement underneath a truck for the theater company that I was on tour with when I was 19. And I fell asleep underneath the tour truck, and nobody could find me for an hour and a half because I was sleeping underneath the car.
How did you get there? Why did you...
It was like the middle of the day. It was like really sunny, so I just crawled under and I just kind of like rolled up on my side, and I like fell asleep there for an hour, and nobody knew where I was.
They
I was supposed to be like
resourceful.
watching this. Yep.
You mystify me
That's right.
every day.
We ran into some technical difficulties. While we were figuring things out, C shared an interesting rock fact. Please enjoy. Or I roll.
Oh.
Ed hated that one so much he left.
He had to
Fuck
go.
that truck. Fuck that truck. I'll tell you all my tattoo one, because maybe I won't say it, which is that I have a butt tattoo that says Memento Mori. Which means remember death. Because my ass is killer. But
See? Take it back. Take it back.
Oh my
won't do it.
god, that's so good.
Okay, let's try this again.
Hello, everyone. My name is C. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me making very trans gay art across the internet at C Plays RPG. I'm playing Lou tonight, who also uses they, them pronouns. And my rock fact is that I once fell asleep underneath a box truck in Detroit, just on the street. I crawled underneath when I was 19 and on tour, and they couldn't find me for like an hour and a half. I was supposed to be watching the truck, but I was underneath the truck, unconscious.
19 is wild.
On the ground. Yeah. I was
Detroit is
19.
wild. What?
I was in Detroit on tour with a theater company performing an outdoor folk opera, and I fell asleep underneath the truck that had all our props in it, and I was supposed to be watching it.
Bro, what is your fucking life?
Lexi's just like across the street, just like making notes. Just someone just crawled under truck.
Yep.
Ask questions.
I got my
later.
binoculars. They are
On the
19. They have rolled under the truck. They've been there for 4.5 hours.
Everyone is looking for them. The show starts at 6. I have the keys. Everything is locked.
Christ.
It's a problem.
We're talking
Wild.
of 6 and things that have 6 sides, which leads us nicely onto dice. Oh my god, he does it again! We would love to thank our sponsors, Die Hard Dice and Frivolous Bear, for sponsoring this series. As is being displayed now, we have an incredible range over there of Beyond the Brook inspired sets, but also Over the Garden Wall inspired die as well. Go check them out. Many of them are already sold out. Some are still limited supply. Go check them out. They are incredible. Go support them. Go check out Die Hard Dice and Frivolous Bear. This wouldn't be possible without your support. Thank you. And a huge thank you, as always, to our unseen individual behind the curtain, the wonderful producer, a Drac. You can find them at Draconiques on Twitter and I think pretty much everywhere. But we'll chime in chat if that is not the case. But in the meantime, are we ready to delve in to the Backwoods once more and the mysteries that lay in store in Chapter 9, The Grey Waters? Fleeing from Milady, the latest of the Fiend's servants, our children have continued south, through the trees, through the wilderness and undergrowth. In their search for the lighthouse, unsure of who they can trust, they march on, with only one another for safety and comfort. And they will need it, for the end is in sight. Mist coats the land. Here and there black trees stretch out, without leaf or flower, grasping at the clear air above. And across this stark and barren place, 5 silhouetted forms walk together in silence. Hardly a sound pierces this veil of grey, hardly a sound save in the distance, the soft sound of lapping water. The 5 of you walk. Ixia, with Sprite in arms still. He is weak as you make your way south. Mist hanging all around you. Who amongst you would like to take a wood move?
Scary.
I can.
Okay.
Yeah. Do it.
So you minus your fear and you plus hope.
Uh, 8.
You choose a kid to confide in, and they get +1 friendship towards you.
I think I'm gonna choose Penny.
Okay.
I think Ixia is still like clinging to Sprite at the moment. But I think they slowly walk up to Penny and just kind of like starts a normal conversation. Hey, Penny.
Oh, hi, Ixia.
How are you feeling?
I'm fine, I suppose. And as we've been walking, you might notice that Penny doesn't have their arms out at their sides like they normally do. They are more tubular. The shoulders kind of round into the body, and their hands are purposefully being concealed. You see that fringe over one of their eyes. The darkness is beginning to creep up, and that she can't hide. And she kind of looks around, trying to avoid eye contact with you. I suppose we're better now that we're not being chased.
Yeah. I just hope wherever we go, I can help Sprite more. He's really hurt. I know he'll be okay. I should have been paying more attention.
I think It's not your fault. I think that sometimes bad things happen. The important thing is that Sprite's not alone, and you're trying your best.
Yeah, you're right. It's just, I was created to, well, to protect Angie. But now I feel like I need to protect all of you. I'm really scared of failing at that.
Well, for what it's worth, I think you're doing a great job. I feel pretty safe.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm really grateful because we've all put ourselves out there to make sure we're all okay. So it doesn't feel like it's just one person trying to protect us. We're all protecting each other.
Yeah. I really like that too. Back where I'm from, a lot of the work that I used to do, it was pretty thankless. And that sucks.
Yeah. I'm really grateful for you. I mean, you've done a lot to make sure we all have been okay. Especially Gus. I'm sure he's really grateful for you.
Yeah, he said that. So you're right.
That's good. I'm glad you were able to talk about it. Do you think Lou's okay?
Very slowly, like an owl, Penny's head turns and looks completely 180 towards Lou for a brief second, but just kind of continues going along, trying to act casual, but it's pretty obvious. Eventually, looking back forward, I don't know. I can't really tell.
They seemed really rushed when they came back to us. I don't want to intrude and, make them share something that they don't want to share. Maybe they're not ready to share. But I do want to make sure that they're okay and they know that I'm here for them. We're all here for them,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if there was a reason why Lou felt rushed. Lou is very fast, so they're
That's
kind of
right.
always rushing. I guess
Yeah.
rushing is relative.
Yeah. I don't know.
You want to go talk to Lou?
No. They'll tell us when they're ready. I just, I guess wanted to make sure I'm not the only one that noticed and that we're all looking out for them. Making them feel safe.
I'll keep an eye out.
Thank you, Penny.
And if you want, I could carry Sprite for a little bit.
I don't know. His fur is really sensitive, and
don't worry.
I don't.
This. And you see Penny just pulls this copper bowl, the unbreakable bowl that was taken from the witch's hut, and it kind of rests on this like mound of where their chest used to be. So Penny's kind of just a walking pillar of honey wrapped around this copper bowl. You can just drop Sprite in there.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
And the Ixia makes a little bed of flowers on the inside, so it's soft and cushiony for Sprite, and then slowly lowers him inside. Thanks. I want to make sure that nothing else can come into contact with his wound or scares him.
As you make the flowers, you notice that Penny goes a little quiet and just looking at them. Not really looking at Sprite, but looking at the flowers. Yeah, I'll make sure that Sprite's safe. Hey, I just wanted to let you know. I think you're a very beautiful person. Flowers are a very special thing. They're fragile and delicate, and anyone who can take care of them, they have a very delicate touch. I really like flowers, and I think in order to make the flowers happy, they have to like you too.
Thanks, Penny. That means a lot. I think I always felt contradicted by my love for flowers and my ability to help them. Sometimes I don't feel like I deserve it, so that means a lot.
I think they chose you.
Thank you. Also, I never said this, but I think your honey is a really pretty shade. It reminds me of sunshine.
Penny's outline begins to warble a little bit. You see her eyes getting kind of big and watery and saucer-like. That's so nice. Okay, I'm just gonna keep carrying Sprite.
Thanks again, Penny. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you too.
As Penny, you turn away, barely containing this wobbling emotion, and Sprite rests in this bowl in front of you. You can add 1 friendship towards Ixia. But as you hold the bowl, you can't help but notice the darkness around your hands has spread all the way to your elbows. As you all walk southwards, your footsteps sinking deeper and deeper into the wasteland through which you walk, you realize it is not a wasteland at all. It is not dirt. It is not soil. It is sand. And as you walk, and the soft sound of water continues to move in and out, as you look to your left, you see water lapping up against a shoreline, along the shore through which the 5 of you make your way, as the waves go in and out, in and out. It is almost hypnotic the way it moves. And as mist continues hanging all about you, can all of you roll 2 dice for me? You are not adding anything to it. You are not subtracting anything.
9.
8, 6,
12.
5.
Interesting. Angie, you are the only one to succeed. The rest of you, as you walk and as you disappear off into the mist, Angie, you slowly begin to realize that every single one of your companions is no longer moving together. They have started moving out in different directions, away from you, and you specifically. You are being left on your own.
Oh, that's Angie's biggest fear. Guys? Hello?
No one hears you.
Wait, come back. Why are you going that way?
Angie, when was the last time you felt this alone?
When just before I got to the wood, after Lizzie and I had a fight. I remember I felt like I was being swallowed by darkness and I couldn't see anything. And it was really scary because I don't like the dark and I don't like being alone.
But there was lightness before that. The warm light bulb illuminating your room as you see yourself before you. Your freckled face, your red hair, adjusting the pointed witch's hat upon your head, frilly collar around your neck as you look in the mirror. Angie, what does your bedroom look like?
It's not super big, and there's arts and crafts everywhere. Scraps of tablecloth from what I made my dress out of all over the ground, and safety scissors and glue and sewing needles all scattered about. And my twin bed has one of those tulle cascading tent tutu things around it, and I have a pet caterpillar that sits in my room by my desk. He hasn't moved in a really long time, but Stanley's gonna be a really pretty butterfly one day.
As you look around the room, and as you admire your excellent handiwork in the mirror, just from down the corridor, you hear two adults shouting at one another through the walls, their deep voices echoing through the house. It has been the same for roughly the last hour. It's not an uncommon sound in this house. But it is Halloween. Do you have other plans?
Chocolate. I think Angie at this point has grabbed the pillowcase off of her pillow and she is throwing it over her shoulder, and she's gonna go look for Lizzie.
And as in the mists on the shoreline, you go in search of your companions. Who are you searching for first?
I think Lou has kind of been filling this void for Angie that she's needed filled for a while. And Lou's kind of been giving her comfort the last few days. And since our walk recently, she's noticed that Lou's been very distant and quiet. And Angie, when that happens, she thinks that she did something wrong. And so she's wandering around and she's like, "Wait, guys, don't leave me. Whatever I did, I'll fix it. Lou?"
As your voice echoes out around the beach, and as your tiny footsteps patter against the wet sand, footsteps, tiny footsteps, stumbling through the woods, a newcomer, dwarfed by the surrounding trees and undergrowth, still carrying the scent of the outside world, the real. Birds fly overhead, cicadas play music, and a soft wind floats through the undergrowth around you as Lou, would you like to describe what a 4-year-old Lou looks like as they enter the woods for the first time?
Lupin is a small, stout little child with round reams of fat around their cheeks, big, bright eyes, shaggy brown hair that looks like it got cut over the kitchen sink, and old clothes. Really old, hand sewn, looks like. This is really, really long time ago. Lupin doesn't have a tail, doesn't have ears, doesn't have sticks or leaves in their hair yet, and wears a kind of torn smock tunic, little dress with trousers underneath. Their shoes have come undone already. They always hated wearing shoes, even as a kid, even as a child so small. They've kicked them off and hardly forget where they left them at this point. And their big eyes kind of looking around at the woods. The woods. They love the woods. They always have.
But there is darkness in these woods as well. Shadows between the trees. And as you walk, a young Lupin begins to realize that they are not alone in these woods. They are being watched.
Sis? Are you out there?
Silence.
Lou gets kind of quiet. Frowns. Their twin sister was just behind them, but she's always been more afraid of the woods than they were. It kind of turns around and then put their hands up on their ears like the farm dog that sits around the cottage that they like so much. And they wiggle their hands, trying to hear better, pretending, and they hop forward, almost toddling and teetering over as they do so, and they go, bark, woof, woof.
As this bark echoes throughout, you hear a voice in response. Laughter.
You appear far from the path, little one.
As from the shadows, you see 2 white eyes.
Far from the what?
Half of you appears to be gone.
Lupin pats himself all around. Nope. Got all of me.
Are you lost, little one?
I don't think so. I think the farm's just that way. My sister's there.
How would you like?
And a shadowy hand reaches out from the trees.
To take a walk with me, child?
I've always liked the woods. I've always wanted to see. My sister's always been afraid, but not me. I'm strong and brave. I'll walk.
Take my hand, and I will show you wonders.
And Lou reaches their hand out. Starts walking forward.
As your small fingers reach out, and long, stretching shadows reach towards your hand. Suddenly, it shudders back as from behind you, you just hear... And behind you, just turning, you see fur. Fur, a wall of it, and a voice. Step away. Now!
Whoa. Lou immediately tries to mimic this huge creature and totters backward, standing behind the fur, getting almost underneath it, underfoot, as they look upward in utter amazement.
And as you look up, and you see this giant wolf, taller than anything you have seen, staring into the shadows, the two white circles shudder.
Very well. But you cannot keep them from me. Forever.
And with that, the one whom you will come to know as the Fiend disappears into the shadows. As Mother Wolf looks down at you. Do not worry, Wolf Cup. You are in my care now.
And Lou looks up at Mother Wolf, and a pressing thought that has echoed in their mind for 5, 12, 100, 200 years. I want to be just like her.
And as you look up, Angie, you come down the stairs into your kitchen. You see, it is simple, covered in Halloween decorations, and in the center of this table, a plate of pumpkin-shaped cookies. And next to this, you see another figure in a witch's hat, standing beside the table, spreading peanut butter and jelly across 2 slices of bread. What does your sister Lizzie look like?
Lizzie and Angie could be twins, but they have so much of an age difference. It's obvious they're not. Lizzie has long, coarse, ginger hair. She's covered in freckles, and her costume is also handmade. She is covered in bruises and band-aids because she's adventurous, just like she taught Angie to be. And her brown eyes look like chocolate, which is maybe why chocolate is Angie's favorite thing.
As you come down, those chocolate eyes look up towards you, and immediately... Angie, what are you doing?
What?
Mom, Angie's copying me! And you just hear from the other room, Angie, stop copying your sister!
I thought that you wanted me to grow up, and this is what you're doing, so I thought this would make me look like a grown-up.
Angie, I'm not going trick-or-treating. I'm going out with Derek.
Is Derek gonna take both of us trick-or-treating?
Mom! And you just hear from the other room, Lizzie, take your sister trick-or-treating. But I'm going with Derek! Lizzie! And as this happens, there's just a on the door. And she just looks at you and... Okay, fine.
I just want to get a few chocolates, and I'll be so nice, and Derek won't even know that I'm with you guys. I'll be so quiet.
She reluctantly holds out a hand towards you.
And Angie does like a little hop and a skip and a dance, and then she grabs Lizzie's hand.
She sighs and begins to lead you towards the door, where, as she opens it, leaning against the door frame, you see a boy a little older than Lizzie, loosely wrapped in toilet paper, in a vague attempt to be a mummy, over what looks to be a sleeveless leather jacket, and black liner coats his eyes, and his short-cropped blonde hair frames fairly spotty features, and he just looks up and, "Hey, yo, Liz, you ready?" My mum says I have to bring my sister along. Oh, damn! Tell me, Angie, how do you feel about haunted houses?
I don't know. It looks like you came from one, though.
Oh, damn, your sister's funny! Okay, yeah, come on, let's go! Lizzie looks down at you and... Okay.
Are we going trick-or-treating, or are we going to a haunted house?
Lizzie, we're going with Derek. We'll grab some sweets on the way, okay?
Okay. Angie's scared, but she trusts her sister with her life, so she just holds her sister's hand a little bit tighter and follows behind her, but kind of behind Lizzie, so not near Derek.
And as you walk, stepping out into the chilly autumnal air, sun setting above, shining bright. Sunlight breaks through your sleeping eyes, Ixia, as they flicker open. Almost blinded by this heavenly glow, it takes you some time for your eyes to adjust to your surroundings. But when you do, you see colour. Beautiful, vibrant colour. Flowers, petals, plants, as far as you see in this beautiful open clearing. It is stunning. It's like nothing you have ever seen. Partly because, Ixia, it is the first thing you have ever seen.
Okay.
As you push yourself up and look around, take a gander for me.
8.
8. So, there are two things you notice as you push yourself up. As you prop yourself up on your hands, you feel your right hand grip around something. Something wooden and tall lying on the ground beside you. It has bristles on its end, almost like hair, and for some reason there is a word that comes to mind. Broom. But perhaps more noticeable, on a nearby stump, a fallen tree, you see something strange watching you. Beady, inquisitive eyes buried beneath red and white fur upon a triangular face that stares straight at you, its bushy tail slowly brushing back and forth as a fox watches you.
I slowly stand up so not to scare it. Hey. I'm not really sure where I am. Are you lost too?
The fox jumps off the stump, disappearing into the flowers before you, and after a moment's rustling, suddenly jumps out before you, almost like a sprite, just landing next to you, and just looks up.
Ixia kneels down before it and starts petting between its ears. Aw. Well, you're a cute little thing, aren't you? You know, I think we're gonna be really close friends. But I think you need a name. I'm gonna call you Sprite.
Just sort of bristles a little bit before suddenly stopping and looking up at you, just cocks his head and...
What's wrong? Are you curious of who I am? That's a good question. I don't really remember anything before this. I know I like flowers. I think my name is Ixia. Sounds right.
Sprite just presses his triangular snout up into your hand and just brushes past you.
Well, I think we should stick together. I don't think you really have many information about this place, and I sure don't. I think I just want to sit in the flowers for a little bit. Get a grip on everything. Want to sit with me?
Sprite just steps round in a circle for a little bit before just nestling down in a perfect donut.
Ixia picks up the broom and just examines it. I'm not really sure how this got here. Is it mine? And then she sets it back down and just starts petting Sprite, deep in thought.
As you do so, overhead you hear a somewhat intrusive sound to this otherwise blissful and peaceful landscape, as a bee flies overhead, flying south, through trees, over bushes, and eventually coming to an old bridge, on either side of which stand battalions of frogs and toads, and past this, a short distance away, hanging between two trees, there sits a resplendent, shimmering, golden beehive, its surface gleaming in the sun's light, and as the sun continues to crawl up its outside, within, through hexagonal, translucent orange structures, its light begins to warm and wake those inside. And as one such bee slowly shakes itself from its slumber, BB, would you like to describe the life of a worker bee?
So there's a shift in the air when it's time to wake up. The way that you sleep is wing to wing, body to body, next to your family. The first one to stir sends almost a wave of vibration through everyone. Little fuzzy legs and bodies rubbing up against each other, and a soft hum begins to emanate. The buzzing of a brand new day. The softness of waking up doesn't last very long. As the whole hive begins to stir, it becomes very loud very quickly. And with so much to do in so little space, everyone begins to bump up against each other. And BB struggles, as they always do every day, to get out of the hive and out into the open air. But BB likes leaving the hive. Their favorite place is a small bed of flowers nearby, and they like to spend as much time as they can on the bed of daisies and tulips and daffodils. She likes to roll around on the bed of pollen, trying to gather as much as she can. She takes her time, but she knows she can't stay too long. Once they are loaded up, they go back to the hive, try to push their way through, buzzing, buzzing, buzzing. It's maddening, it's consuming, it's overwhelming. Just buzzing and shoving and pushing and working over and over and over. Eventually, the temperature begins to drop. And eventually, begins to grow quiet again. BB does this every single day. There's no way to really talk to any of the bees around her. They're her family, and she knows that they'll protect her. But they don't know her name. They don't know her voice. The buzzing's all the same. It isn't until one day she's just too tired to get out of the hive. She's made so much honey. She wants to be someone that her mother could be proud of. She wants to do her part. She just can't get up. She slowly begins to sink through the hive. Something happens. She doesn't know quite how it does. When daylight comes, the sunbeams peering through the branches of the trees of the hive that she calls home, a single drop of honey escapes the hive, and it lands on a flower. Yawning awake, that single drop of honey begins to pull out legs and arms and a little head. No bigger than the flower that she's landed on.
As this small, young, slowly growing honey elemental, this new form, this new life begins to grow, grow, grow. Penny, can you face your fear for me, please?
You can try. Seven.
7. So you can choose to succeed on your move and reduce your fear by 1, or no, sorry, you can choose to succeed, or you can reduce your fear by 1 and fail your move.
I will fail my move.
As you drift down the beach, Penny, you do not shake yourself from dreams. As Angie continues to shout out into nothingness, tugging at Lou's arm as they just try and pull them back and back and back. As Angie, You are pulled on and on and on by your sister as you walk through Halloween in your town. Your footsteps echoing out on the pavement. You've been walking for almost an hour now, Lizzie and Derek pacing on ahead. And while you have passed many other kids in costumes, some of whom are with families or siblings, and carry plastic pumpkins full of sweets for trick-or-treating, you see elderly inhabitants coming out onto their porches to answer calls of trick-or-treat. And as you walk on by these houses and gardens and kids, you see bowls upon bowls of sweets and treats and candies. But Derek and Lizzie are laughing between themselves, and at one point you feel Lizzie let go of your hand and take Derek's as they just walk before you.
I think Angie thinks about saying something, but instead she just keeps walking but stares at her hand. And she looks up at Lizzie and Derek and chooses just to follow and not say anything at all.
Eventually you come to an old, broken and battered fence, and it is here that the two stop, laughing and engrossed in one another. As eventually Derek leans on this fence, and you see that beyond this, past an overgrown garden of softly swaying grass, there is a house. While once a beautiful home, maybe even a cottage, now its exterior is battered and boarded up, graffiti covering its walls, vines grow across its surface, and its paint is peeling and cracking. And next to it, on the other side of where its garden ends, you see an old, crumbling wall, beyond which you see only dark and foreboding trees. And as you approach, you hear Derek talking to Lizzie. So they say this place is haunted, right? The family used to live here before when 13 years ago, the kid just goes missing. 4 years old, jumped over the wall, never seen again. And then he sees you approaching Lizzie, and he crouches down. Never seen again. Parents are still looking for them, but everyone knows what happened. The wolves got him. And he grabs your shoulders, and they say that if you close your eyes, you can still hear their screams. So, who's going in? And Lizzie just slaps his arm. Derek.
Lizzie, I thought we were going to like a fun haunted house with like, you know, the fake actors like pretending to be scary. I don't think this is safe. It looks old in a bad way, not old in a cute way like our costumes. Old in a bad way, Lizzie, and I don't want to do it. And you said that we'd get sweets, and we didn't get any sweets. And I don't know, I don't think it feels like Halloween anymore. And it's starting to get dark.
The sun sets as you say these words.
I want to go home. You know I don't like the dark.
Well, go. This was meant to be my night with Derek anyway. Away from Mom, away from Dad, away from the fighting. I just wanted one night, okay, Angie?
I don't know how to get home. You know that.
Angie, just leave me alone for just 1 second. Every time we're at home, you're just there. And it's not funny, it's not cute. Why don't you just grow up? And as these words hit you, they echo Out and out they echo into the recesses of your mind, into the colour and brightness of your imagination. And like a breath against a candle, a light within you briefly flickers, and it slowly begins to dim.
I will grow up. I will grow up and I'll be nicer and I'll be more interesting than you, Lizzie. I'll be adventurous and I'll be nice to everyone. And I don't need you. I can get home on my own. And Angie runs. And she just runs. And she's crying and she can't see anything and she can't hear anything. She just runs.
You run. Through tears and darkness, and pumpkins and ghosts and skeletons and werewolves and vampires, you run. And you get lost, Angie. You get lost. And eventually, somehow, you find yourself along the very wall that seems to divide the town from the forest beyond. You think you see lights, but it is hard to tell. You look around, you think you see your sister. It is impossible to know. You see Derek, you see your parents, you see pumpkin-shaped cookies, you see lights and music. Everything's just so confusing as the wind blows overhead, blowing and blowing. As up above, high, high in the clouds, gust. What is the sky to you?
Home, mostly. It's home, it's a cradle. It's what some other people would consider their... Some people drive a car for the first time, and some people, they have their first birthday, and some people, they have their first day at school, and all of these places are separate and just as wondrous, and the sky is all of these places in one for Gust. I think it is also a prison in some ways. It is everywhere and all over and all the time, and the only. And that never ends.
There is, in amongst these sights, down in the world below, in the backwoods, there is one that catches your eye. Between the boughs within the wilderness, you see what looks to be a small cabin. It is simple, wooden with dark tile roofing and a small chimney out of which drifts small tendrils of smoke. And against the porch you can see a pair of boots and a large farming implement. A scythe, propped up against the railing. And a short ways off from this, you see a figure. The same figure every day. A young boy, stood amongst a number of small logs. He wears an off-colour white shirt underneath white dungarees, and in his hand you see an axe. Every day he chops wood. He takes it back to the house. The next day he comes, he chops wood, he takes it back to the house, like clockwork, if you knew what that was. He moves backwards and forwards, to and fro. And one day, as he brings the axe down, you see the log crack apart and splinters fly everywhere. And as it does so, you see the boy cry out and stumble back as the axe drops from his hand, and he winters in pain, bringing his hand up to his cheek. And you see that there is a small cut from which something red drips. And as he brings his hand down, you see it brush against something on his overalls. Something gold, shining, that just falls to the ground. And from his eyes, something clear like rainwater briefly begins to trace its way down his cheek before he takes up the logs and he heads back to the house.
We're watching, and we're watching every day, and we're watching every hour. And when I see this red bloom on his face, I think we crack like thunder, like a dust storm. There's no trace of rain, but you hear it. And we watch as his eyes well up, and we watch as he shrugs. We watch as he continues. We watch as he turns. And I think as the thunder is crashing, there's this almost extra noise afterwards, this rattling. And it's crashing, and something is tearing and ripping. And a voice is emanating from the wind. As we're unsure what's happening, but we're tearing, we're ripping, and suddenly, at the thought of the brooch, the voice, I, and you hear the words I starting to usher forth. And the we splits as a piece of wind just starts to break off at the thought of the brooch. Our focus is on keeping us together, but I for the first time, I want. And I'm ripping myself free as I repeat, I, and hear chanting as a chorus behind me, we, reaching towards me, thunderous, cacophonous chaos. I'm pressing and I'm ripping and I don't care about the pain. And I wonder if my face will bloom too. And my face and me, I, and I reach. And a long hand of wind emerges forward. From the clouds, from the wind, from the north.
Sprouting like a flower. Like a droplet of honey falling from a hive, like a child walking into a woods they do not know. You reach down to the ground where, nestled in dirt, a single drop of red blood sits upon the shiny surface of this brooch. It looks up at you. And as you reach out for it, you realize it is no longer an arm that is separate. It is shoulders, torso. You have hair. You have feet. You're standing. That's weird. You're standing. Standing on the ground. Can you face your fears, Gus?
Let's do it. That's a 10.
As you reach down to this brooch and bring it up, you're in mist. And you are looking at your hands as you hear Angie's voice as she is pulling against Lou's hand, just desperately trying to pull them back towards her. Your friends are here. Where Ixia and Penny are, you do not know, but you are not alone anymore.
Angie?
Gust, I've been calling out your name for like, I don't know, like a really long time. And I'm calling out everybody else's name. And no one hears me. And I thought everyone was mad at me. Are you mad at me?
No, you're my best friend. Come here. And
Okay.
he'll open his arms and squeeze you.
I went that way because I thought that's the way we were supposed to go. And I saw Lou go that way, and I saw Penny go that way. Wait, did
Okay.
you say I'm your best friend?
Well, yeah. You listen to all my cool facts, and you're brave, and you... Yeah, you're my best friend.
I've never had a best friend before, and she kind of punches Gus.
Ow. Wow, interesting. Ow. Well, let's find Penny, and then we can find everyone else. And
Okay,
you're not alone anymore. Nobody's alone.
wait. And Angie reaches in her pocket to see if her turtle's still in there, too.
Lettuce just pokes a shell and then a head out and just...
Oh God, he's the Rock. He's our Rock. I'm glad nothing happened to him.
And Penny gives Lettuce's shell a big wet kiss and puts him back in her pocket. Okay.
Okay, let's find Penny. You were right to do what you did. Following other people you trust is important.
Well, I think that's how I ended up in the woods, actually, so maybe I should be a little less trusting.
Well, let's go find our friends.
Okay.
And I will hold out a hand. Let's go.
Angie she grabs Lettuce and she puts Lettuce in your hand and she goes, "Let's go."
Let's go. Start running with Lettuce in my hands.
As this is happening, Ixia, the days after you and Sprite meet one another are much the same as the ones before and the ones that come after. Walking through forests, walking through woods, everywhere you step, flowers sprouting, colour and music and sound, Sprite dancing beside you. The days are bright, the nights are peaceful. But despite this, you cannot help but feel you are being watched. Can you make a body check for me, please?
Yes.
Sorry, that's a different system. Can you make a brace yourself system?
Thank you. I wouldn't have known.
Kids on bikes, let's go.
Yep.
10.
10. One of these days, you are walking along, and as you do so, Sprite beside you, and this broom still with you, you suddenly are able to brace yourself just before a fairly precipitous drop, and as you do so, you are able to grab Sprite as well. But as you do, you see that water falls down into the beginnings of the still water river below, and just too late you realise that you have let go of the broom in your hand. as it falls down, 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 out of reach. And Sprite just looks up at you and...
I feel like I needed that, but God. Maybe we can still find it. What is it? You know, it really sucks when you don't really remember anything. Maybe we should just let it go. Maybe it needs to go to someone else.
And he just brushes up against you and playfully just bites your hand.
I don't know, Sprite. Are we supposed to be... I feel like there's something I need to be doing. Somebody I need to be finding. I don't know who.
As you say this, you just watch as down below, the lower levels of the forest that you look at, a breeze floats up, carrying purple and yellow petals of witch hazel up towards you. Your hair brushes back in the breeze. Something about this feels right.
Spread, I think we're on the right track. That broom, it's gonna find who it belongs to. We should just keep going.
And as you say this, your words echoing through your head, your colourful surroundings slowly begin to get greyer. Greyer and greyer, as mist in front of you conceals the landscape. You hear the soft sound of water to your left. And behind you, very, very fast footsteps just running towards you. I need you to brace yourself, please, as Gust emerges out of the mist.
12.
12. You step to one side as Gust, you just and splash into the water as this strange kind of smoky puddle just splashes up, and you just see for a moment Lettuce the turtle just coming out and just sort of futilely trying to swim away as you continue holding on to him as you look on Ixia.
My snot bubble is super huge. Because I've been running a lot. It's just a lot of breathing. Ixia! Alright. Sorry, give me a second. I'm just holding on to Lettuce. Okay. You're here? Is that you?
I look down at Sprite. Yeah. I'm Ixia.
Okay. We gotta go. Angie was looking for us, and we disappeared on her. And that's like not very cool, but I don't know why we did it, but she's behind. I kind of just started running very quickly. But
Guys?
She'll be here. Yeah, I'm over here.
Guys!
Me and Lettuce made me really, really fast, actually. Still like bent over, like Angie's coming, so we gotta go find Penny, we gotta go find Lou.
Question for me in my autistic brain. Do I remember them currently, or am I like in a state?
The fog has passed. You are,
Okay.
you are cogent.
Okay.
Why is
Okay.
everybody leaving me?
I'm not trying to leave you. I'm just trying to be as fast as possible. It's efficiency. I run here, then we turn around and run the other way.
And she catches up.
Where is everybody else?
I don't know, but Angie told me that she saw us go opposite ways and try to chase after each of us, and it just didn't work. So we have to go find our friends.
You went this way, but Lou went that way, and I don't know where Penny is.
Okay. Okay. We just have to find them. I feel like we all experienced something very similar. So where would
I didn't
Where did they
experience
walk?
anything. What do you mean?
Penny, can you make a wood move for me, please? Minus your fear and plus your hope.
8.
8. Okay. Choose a member of the group. Choose a memory you have with them. They will gain 1 friendship towards you. But describe a memory that will bring you back. Back from the fog, back from the mist, back from the grey.
I'm going to choose Angie. And it'll be the memory of Angie saying that I did a good job. And it wasn't because I gave something. It was just because I was myself.
Penny, I think you're really great, just the way that you are. I've never, ever seen anybody made out of honey before. I thought you were made out of snot. But this version of you right now is the perfect version of you that I've ever known. And I'm proud of you.
The fog lifts. As these last words echo through your gelatinous mass, vibrating warmly.
Angie?
Penny? Penny! Where were you? I was so worried. I was like, how'd she get away so fast when she's so slow? And she just jumps into you with a hug.
And Angie, as you jump, you don't remember how you got there, how you jumped over the wall, how suddenly the ground beneath you fell, how you fell tumbling down the hill, the steep, steep hill covered in leaves and grass and dirt, flying past trees and branches and bushes, down, down, round, round, your vision spinning into darkness, how suddenly with a splash everything went cold, and you found yourself plunging into the babbling brook at the bottom of the hill, and rolling through its shadows, depths and your momentum carrying you out the other side. But you remember waking. You remember walking. You remember tripping on a witch's broom. That was very strange. But you also remember the first of your friends you met, trapped in a witchfinder's contraption, golden and shimmering, in the center of a field of flowers.
Penny, Do you need help with that?
Yeah.
Angie's gonna try to open it again, just like she did before.
And
Did I
as
roll?
no, you're good. As you walk forward, and as Ixia and Gust join Lou, you remember your last night with your pack. The conversation you overheard between two voices, one very familiar to you, and the other alien, strange but warm. You can feel it, can't you? The gusts that come from the north wind yonder, the darkening of the lighthouse's flame. A darkness has come to the Backwoods. A creature from the outside. It is happening again. I have heard that tone before, my dear. I must seek the creature out. Seek it out and bring it here. Even now it stalks the edges of the wood, traveling along the brook. You cannot, my darling. You know what will happen. The danger that will befall you, all of us. For the sake and safety of my pack. For my cub. I cannot let this creature walk the woods. You know what is at stake. Is this about Lou? There is no answer. Be careful, my love. And it is only now, as this warmth hits you once more in memory, that you recognize the owner of this voice. The last conversation you heard your mother, it was with the witch in the woods. And there was so much love between them. It is why you recognized Ixia's scent that first day. Why it was so familiar to you. What were your feelings as you left home and as you come to now on the banks of the grey waters?
It had just been years. Lou's little ears peeking up over a fallen log as they listened to this secret, hidden conversation, understanding less than half of it. But it was determination and bravery that had filled up their heart as they left to protect Mother Wolf, to protect their pack, to protect the Backwoods, to prove that they had the same kind of love that Mother Wolf did. Love enough to fight the Witchfinder and fight whoever got in their way and protect the people that they love. And I think it's their ears now too, cold with mist, heavy with the fishhook inside, a reminder of who they are, the things they love, that they feel that same rise. Even the strongest person they know, Mother Wolf, even the strongest person that Mother Wolf, even the strongest person they know, Mother Wolf, needs help. Maybe Lou can help her, can help everyone. Maybe they're brave enough. Maybe they're strong enough because they love their pack. All of them.
And as the mist clears from your vision, you see Angie, her hands stuck inside of Penny, just desperately trying to pry them off. You see Gust sort of awkwardly holding a turtle that is just swimming in midair. And you see Ixia, all stood together.
Witch, did you run off again? And Lou comes trotting over, all tall and limbs, and I think for the first time since they left that clearing of woods, their tail is wagging slowly. Their ears are starting to rise again as they look at each of them, and kind of that toothy grin comes over. There's a small bit of fur across their lip. They look. You have to stop doing that, Witch. I said it's important that we stick together.
I love to imagine, as you say, we stick together. Penny's just standing there, right? Angie's hands are stuck in Penny, and Penny simply turns to look at Ixia and gives a thumbs up.
As you do this, sorry, you go, Angie.
Angie starts to peel herself off of Penny and goes, Lou, I was screaming your name the most. What do you mean? I missed you.
Huh? What are you Did you cast some kind of spell on me?
Yeah, it's called Bestie Love. Ooh.
Gust breaks out the xylophone and accentuates what you said with the xylophone.
I think Ixia literally throws themselves at Lou and gives them a big hug.
I think Lou, just because of the impact of it, has to swing, so you get swung around and like your hair and your dress goes for a minute as they kind of catch you and just kind of keep holding you. Whoa, hey, hello?
I missed you. I thought you were hurt. Don't do that again.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
She slowly backs up.
Lou puts you down and then kind of looks and then like leans forward a little bit and goes, your eyes are really gold with the ocean. It's pretty.
You're pretty.
Huh?
Nothing. She just turns around. Goes, all right, so what are we doing, guys?
I think Angie didn't catch that moment, and she just runs to jump into Lou's arm for a hug the way she did with Penny.
It catches. It's okay, Luna. And they let slip the name of their sister instead of your name.
What?
There's nothing to be afraid of in the woods, Luna. It's okay. Don't worry. I've got you.
My name's Angie.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay. I love you too, Lizzie.
I would like to try out one of these. And sorry, Gus is gonna climb up your back, and with all of his weight, just like very dense little guy, puts his hand on your shoulder, like pressing.
Like a jungle gym, just gets climbed.
This is wonderful.
Okay.
You're very strong. You're very strong. This is wow.
Penny comes over and is literally just a rectangular sheet of honey and just comes down on everyone, including Ixia.
This little explosion of sand and honey and writhing bodies just collapses on the ground as just this messy, laughing, just wreck of a wolf pack just lies together, collapsed on the shore. Can everyone take a gander for me?
I hope you're proud of yourselves. I'm crying.
Yeah, dear God. I screamed so much.
Got an 8.
Lou
I
is
also got
so
an 8.
deeply underneath everyone that they can't see a damn thing because I rolled a 3. They're the foundation of this cuddle puddle, and I'm not seeing anything.
7.
13.
Gust. Above the sound of laughter, above the sound of joy and friendship, you hear something through the mist. A buzzing sound. The buzzing of a bee. Small and black and singular. It lands nearby. And then suddenly, the buzzing intensifies. As slowly from out of the mist, you hear a low vibration. A humming reverberating through the greyness of your surroundings until far away, you see the greyness of the mist slowly turning black, like an ominous dark cloud moving towards you all. And as it does so, so does the humming, as the buzzing gets louder. Bees are flying. Other shapes are also starting to appear from the mist. Half-glimpsed silhouettes, humanoids. You can see cats and rats. You can also see wolves, huge, all making their way towards the 5 of you. And within the copper bowl that has fallen on the ground, you see Sprite just stagger to his feet and just out. They are coming.
Do I see the lighthouse anywhere?
I would say with a 13. Looking around, as voices and cries and shouts echo out through the mist. Behind you, a short run away, you see an edifice of grey stone. You see the lighthouse. You see the light at its top, and how it is slowly beginning to fade.
Penny, everyone, we have to go. We have to get to the lighthouse now. Things are coming. There's a lot of things coming. Like your family and the rats and the cats and Penny. Your family too, I think. Or your mom. I'm not sure.
Oh.
We have to get to the lighthouse.
Let's go.
Together.
Yeah.
Okay. And Angie holds out both hands for someone to grab each one. And she says, let's go.
Ixie grabs one.
Lou grabs the other.
Penny will scoop up the bowl.
I will grab. I'm assuming that. I'll grab the pets. That's what I'll do.
Sprite
Fox turtle
and Lettuce under an arm each. All of you run down the beach as the light at the top of the lighthouse continues to fade and darkness spreads across the backwoods, even as it closes in on the 5 of you running down the beach, alone, but together. And that is where we are going to end this week's chapter.
Whoa.
I need to make some kind of freaky noise into my microphone.
That is 4 episodes in a row, Ed. 4 episodes in a row,
Look,
you've made me cry.
I
He
feel
can't keep getting away with this.
I feel this one's not on me though. I feel like this is squarely on all of your
We
shoulders.
did this to ourselves. We did.
It
do
hurt
this.
itself in its confusion.
Oh god.
Ugh.
Oh, god.
You say that, Laura, like you're not the one who made me want to cry my
I was
eyes
crying.
out.
I was
I
crying.
literally
when
cried.
you were crying.
Yeah.
I was
Cry my
crying.
eyes out.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize.
No.
My
It was a
bad.
No.
treat.
Ah,
Oh my god.
one more episode. One more chapter. What is there to say but thank you to all of you, to everyone watching, and to this incredible cast, this beautiful wolf pack. We will be back next week to close out our story, but in the meantime, we love you so much, and we will see you very soon. What do we say to the moon and to one another? And we mean it so much. We'll see you soon.